Collective gang, gang, gang. What it do, you guys? It's your girl, Empress 777 here today with a general message for my beautiful collective. I hope you guys are doing super fantastic. I most certainly am. Holy angels and spirit guides, please give us all that we need to know, baby. In addition to what has already come out, okay, we got a little bit of a pre-shuffle. This is very interesting. Give us exactly what we need to know in regards to my beautiful collective. This could be for absolutely any zodiac sign, guys, okay? Let me know down below in the comments what you representing, what you repping, okay? When's your birthday? Rep your set, babe, or send me a little hey girl, hey down below. I love to read it. Very interesting energy, you guys. Yeah. You know, this person specializes in being able to read and take note on people, right? I feel like they put it in their back pocket to use it for later. So they like really analyze people's, their moods, their feelings, they may like test people to see what triggers their emotions, what their triggers actually are, what they will investigate, right? Like to garner all of their information. This person is a little bit taken aback by you and your intuition, but they're not calling it intuition. They're calling it psychic abilities. They feel like you read their mind. You may have actually said something to this person that shocked the shit out of them. Shook is what I heard. Shook the shit out of them. A very clear vision of who they are. You may have actually called them out in reference to who they are as a person or how they've been conducting themselves. This is something that they tried to keep very close to their chest, okay? Their ulterior motives or their motives at all, right? Or what it is that they do. You called them out on their shit and they are acknowledging that. So for some of you, you either said it or you absolutely said nothing, but they still felt like they were naked in front of you. They felt like you could see right through them. They also possibly see how you are with other people, how good of a judge of character you are is what they're saying. For drawing closer to come out, this does signify to me that you have pulled back and this person wants to pull you in closer. They are trying to attract you in the correct way, but for some reason you feel something is off intuitively, or they actually did something that turned you off or made you look at them differently, and then like now you got your good eye on them. I do feel like this person is like, I can't read you, but I feel like you read me like a fucking book. I feel like you're passing every test on me. So you might see this person start to ramp up with their effort. Okay. The text messages may become a little bit more frequent. If they are known to be only a texter, now all of a sudden they're calling. If they were only known to call you, now all of a sudden they want to FaceTime you. It's that sort of thing. They feel like they have to ramp it up to draw you in closer, as they're not able to read you as they were able to read their past connections as easily. Now, I'm not saying that this person uses the information that they garner on people for toxic reasons or, to weaponize it. But I do feel like this is somebody who likes a lot of information on the person that they're dealing with, but they don't necessarily give a lot of information about themselves. And the thing that's shaking them to their core is like, you're like, just by small things that they do, you're able to read them like a fucking book. Just by what they chose off the menu. Let me tell you about you. Let me tell you about people like you. You know what I'm saying? Oh, really? That's what you like? That's what you're into? That's your thing? You know what I've come to know about people like that? And then you just start running down a dissertation and they're like, fuck. She's reading me like a book. He's reading me like a book. Now, even though I said it doesn't have any like alliance to toxicity, what would be the reason for you to be scared or shook that somebody can see you or that somebody's getting to know you unless you had ulterior motives, ma'am, sir, bruh, sis? Now I'm talking to your person. What would be the reason? Okay, because you're trying to fool me now, huh? Because I literally heard this is not toxic, right? Like, I'm not toxic. I'm not toxic. I just like to get to know people. Okay, so why are you shook that my collective is able to know you, know what you're about, without you giving the information freely? You're not volunteering information. There could be something within this person's ego as well that it gets stroked when people try to pull information out of them. They're a secretive person, but that could be one of their tests. They like people to ask them about them over and over and over, right? Like, it's like pulling teeth, getting information out of this person. What are you up to? What are you doing? And instead of answering your question, they ask you a question. What the fuck, bro? But you're not doing that. So you're not toxic, but we have deceptive energy here. I lie to you because I'm afraid of the choices you'll make. So that could also be another thing, right? This has insecurity written all over it. To get to know someone so well could give the appearance that they're trying to mirror you, right? When people interrogate you about what you like, what you've been through, what your past relationships were, you know, what you've been through, what your experiences are, what hurts the most, what triggers you, what your deal breakers are. And all the questions are just like back to back to back to back, but you can't get anything out of them. That's very deceptive behavior. It is. You know what this person figured out of all of the information that they got out of you? That they like you. Like you're a good person. So there could be some truth. Okay, here's the thing, right? It's toxic. Like, let's just call it a spade a spade. We're not gonna bullshit around with it. Okay, it's toxic. But I don't think it's toxic in the way that people would traditionally look at it. I feel like this person uses their interrogative methods to shield themselves, shield their heart, to guard themselves, right? It is a defense mechanism. Okay, it is what they use to be able to make sure that they are ahead of the game, or that they have a good hand. This is what I'm showing, like a card with hands, playing cards. They use that to be able to stay ahead in the game. It's not a game, though. They feel like you're really smart, or like you outsmarted them. Because while they have to do this in order to save face for who they really think they are, or what they really think they deserve, right? Or who they really think they can pull, who they really think will be interested in them for them, not based on you mirroring people's energy, getting information out of them just to become what they said that they like, right? What they said their dream person was. All of a sudden, they're that. All of a sudden, you're telling them, this is the kind of guy that I like. This is the kind of girl that I like. This is what I like a woman. This is what I like for a woman to do. This is what I like for a man to do. This is a man to me, honey. My man. This is a woman to me, honey. Okay. This is a woman for me. Like, this is what I like. And then all of a sudden they're dressing that way. They're talking that way. Or even within the same conversation, they're like, oh yeah, I do that. I do that with my eyes closed. Now, the reason why I say it's deceptive, but not toxic in like the traditional aspect, it is toxic for this person, but they're not toxic to other people. They do this because they don't believe that if they showed up as their real self, you know, without the mask of whatever it is your list is, okay, that's their mask. They just show up like that. They just become that, okay? They bend themselves into a pretzel to become that. It is because whoever they are authentically, they don't really believe that people will be attracted to that people will be interested in that. And I feel as though, and it's not to like fool you. It's not to get away with anything. It's not like they're trying to trick you. They're not trying to like purposefully trick you. They're trying to trick themselves into believing that they can be somebody that somebody is interested in genuinely, that somebody loves. Oh, this is what I have to be to have a relationship. This person could be in a dire need of connection and relationship. They may move from one relationship to the next, they're not alone. They're never alone. And that speaks to their insecurity. But the deception is not to like trick you into being with them necessarily. Is to trick themselves into believing that they can have you, if that makes sense, right? Into believing that they deserve you, or that they are deserving of love. Is actually really sad, right? When you kind of break it down. And not only has it not worked in the past, right? Yeah, their deception is what draws people closer, but the mask always slips. So when people find out who they actually are, because you can't really pretend for too long. I don't get that who they actually are is a bad person. But when you start lying about your interests, when you start lying about your hobbies and what you're into and what you do for a living, or what it's lies, and that is toxic. And then you can't lie forever, right? Like what you're actually interested in will start coming out the longer that you are involved with the person, right? They'll start to see, You don't really like sports. Right? Like, you don't even know the game of football at all, bitch. You just watch the Super Bowl. Like, you just watch the Super Bowl just because of Taylor Swift or something. Like, you don't know anything about what I was talking about, right? Like, that's just one example. What you actually like is anime, which is nothing wrong with anime. You actually like this thing. You actually like to shop. You're really like a girl's girl. Like, you really like to do this and this and that. Right? You're not actually a guy who's into romance. You're not like actually chivalrous, right? Because it's not even a thing. The things that are a chivalrous person would naturally do, you don't. And it just starts to slip. And when the mask slips, people slip away. And it's like a vicious cycle. So when someone slips away from them based on learning that they lied, right? Because that's not a harmful lie, but a lie is a lie, bitch. If you a lie about small shit, you a lie about big shit. I got to get the fuck away from you. Like, please. It's stupid. Why are you lying about small stuff? Huh? I thought you said that you were the manager of this shit. I thought you said that you were the manager. They're like, well, I mean, you know, I put the application in and everything. I'm just trying to manifest it. You know, I'm just speaking it into, you know, when you manifest, you got to act like it's already done. So instead of saying, I want to be a manager, I just say that, you know. But are you a manager? I mean, you know, it really depends on how you look at it. But you're a liar. You're lying. You're lying. I thought you said that you were from this state. I thought you said your parents did such and such and such and such. I thought you said you had X amount of siblings. I thought you said this is what happened in your relationship. And I feel like because of your protection spiritually, their lies they won't survive, okay? Not only do you have this intuitive ability to see beyond people's lies. Like, you know when somebody is lying. You do. They could be the best liar in the world. It doesn't matter. It's like something in their eyes. It's like this technique that you have. Okay, it's a nudge. It's a discernment that you have, so you can tell when people are lying. So they weren't able to really get away with it as you know, skillfully as they were able to get away with this behavior in the past. I feel like they didn't even really get to show up to show you what they could actually do. This level of deception is actually it should go down in history as a gift, because I feel like they do normally get away with it, and you might really shock this person if they lie to you and you be like, you're lying. They're like, what? I'm not lying. You are. You're lying. How do you know that? You can't tell me about my life. You can't tell. I'm telling you what it is. Yeah, because I just know. Matter of fact, I gotta go. I'll call you back. Okay. Or just fall off of the conversation or some shit. They feel like you saw right through them. It is a panic that they have because they actually like you. So obviously this had long enough to transpire for them to develop feelings for you or to develop this attraction for you. But what I'm wondering is, you seem to be attracted to everybody. Everybody get a slice. You know what I'm saying? Everybody getting a little tickle of your pickle. Like, everybody is getting a piece, you know? Everybody's getting to bop it and smack it and pull it and tug it. Like, what the fuck? What is the difference between my collective and everybody else? Soulmate? A soulmate? Really? Tell me what that is. What is your definition of that? I'm talking to your person now. Like, I would really love to actually have a conversation with them. Because this pattern of behavior has not worked yet. And I gotta be very honest with you. I feel like you're in a danger zone dealing with the collective that's here, okay? They've already shown you that they're smart and outsmarted you in many of ways from the beginning. But I feel like this person is still playing around with it, right? Because it worked to some extent in the past, but it's never worked to the point where it actually lasted. You always ended up like this. So it's giving not smart. Ma'am, sir, bro, sis, it's giving less than smart. I'm worried about you. If something has never worked, then when you want to try something different, Why not just show up as who you are? It is because they don't feel like they're deserving of it. And that's just a whole nother, you know, level of possibly don't want to fuck with it. For lack of a better phrase, right? All jokes aside, this level of insecurity can wreak havoc on a relationship because, yes, they use harmless ways. They're calling it a harmless lie, but a lie is a lie, bitch. I don't care what you trying to, I don't care how you trying to spin it to me. You're not going to manipulate me, ho. Okay, this is my shit. Like, shut up. A lie is a lie. And though the lie didn't necessarily harm anyone, when you start throwing terms like soulmate into things and like really intense energies like infatuation, I won't use the L word, but they would, right? Really liking somebody, really loving thinking you love someone, wanting to be in a relationship with someone, that gets you into a danger zone of where you're trying to do whatever it takes to not get into this position of feeling shattered, or to protect your ego, or to protect your own identity, which is really a mask. It's really a lie, right? That leads to gaslighting, projection, manipulation. I mean, it's just like a rabbit hole. It could just dive right down into a toxicity rabbit hole. It never ends. I also feel like whatever time you did spend with this person, it did open them up in a way that they weren't really expecting. You know what I mean? This does give me the type of energy of somebody who just, you know, they, like I said, they hop from relationship to relationship. So they may just use like romantic relationships to fill a void that just never gets filled. But you happen to fill it slightly. Because otherwise, why would this soulmate card even be showing up? Yeah, so we have apology. They absolutely know that you're skeptical about their behavior because you called them out on it, or you either just started acting in a way to where they like, no. They're like, yeah, she knows, you know, he knows that I'm not this person that I said that I am, right? It doesn't normally go this way. This is not how I intended for it to go, but they actually like you. So I do feel like this is somebody, they are like, it's damage control, okay? They're trying to see if they can salvage this. They absolutely lied to you. Let's just call a thing a thing, right? We're just gonna call a thing a thing. Free will is still at play. I feel like they're gonna come in and be honest, but it's like once you lie, how can you expect someone to believe you? Ma'am, sir, bruh, sis. You know, it's like, yeah, my collective can see through bullshit, which is how they knew you weren't who you said you are very early on. And I feel like you still just entertained them though, like, because how did they end up like growing feelings for you? You had to have just been like entertaining them, right? It was entertainment for you. Okay. So you stopped taking it serious a lot sooner than they realized. You outsmarted them. They thought that you were falling for it. They really did. They did. It wasn't until they recognized that the pattern in which it normally goes, right, in their mind, where people normally draw closer to them, people are normally asking them more questions, people are normally trying to get in their good graces or asking them what it is that they desire, and then when they don't answer, those are the type of people in their past that would start doing just random things, like doing things for them, saying, do they like this? Do they like this? Playing the guessing game, right? Really trying to butter them up and earn them. It's like they come in, they ask you what it is that you want, what it is that you desire, what's your dream life like, what's your goals, what's your dream relationship, right? What is the creme de la creme of relationships for you? They become that, and then they pull back. They become it. Get you to draw closer, like, oh, this is my person. They're ticking all the boxes. They said that they like to do this. They said that they want marriage. They said that they want to move here. They said that they like this and this and this and that, right? They absolutely mirror everything that you say. And then they want in return for their lack of worth and lack of self-esteem and lack of self-assurance. They want you to fill that cup. Are they going to tell you what it takes to fill the cup? No, because they don't know what it requires to fill that cup. But what feels good is when people are on a scavenger hunt and try to guess, which is an endless, like I said, it's endless. It's an endless cycle, but they've never really been able to get somebody to sign up for that for the long haul. People kind of just disappear on them. This is wild. Now, I get for a great deal of you, this will be showing up because you've been trying to figure out, right? Like, especially if you're watching tarot readings, right? It's like you're trying to figure out, like, what the fuck did I just go through? Like, what actually just happened here? It's a very confusing and conflicting energy, because if you at any point believed this person's mask, right? If they showed up and started, you know, being everything you need, being everything you asked for, everything you could have asked for, the dream guy, the dream girl, it's like a whirlwind romance. They're very sweet, right? It's giving very much love bombing. And now that I'm saying all of these things, but this person will have you believe, but it's not toxic. I'm not toxic. Child, you better be skeptical of this apology or whatever this apology entails. Because I don't get that this is over, guys, okay? I have to be very honest with you. They're not just like walking away. You kind of, so this is the type of person when things were shattered in the past, they would just suppress the pain, which is why they're walking around as this unhealed person, just trying to F over people's lives and energy and get people attached to an illusion, right? Get people to chase an illusion. But there's something else. You hit a nerve here, guys, okay? I don't get that it's a soulmate. If it is, it's karmic, okay? They're also saying that this soulmate card right over this deception energy is how this person likes to show up, right? As your dream come true. But I'm really feeling strongly that you didn't draw close. You didn't take the bait. You did not hop on the hamster wheel. You didn't start to, you know, try to be and become everything this person needs and desires, which is what they are used to. And this is the type of person who, because that cup never gets filled, even if you did try, right, once or twice with them, and people in the past have tried more than once or twice, I feel like you got out a lot sooner, which is what has them kind of panicking and believing that they're in love. It's that rejection wound that's being activated by you that hasn't really been activated by anybody else. And now all of a sudden they want to apologize. It's bullshit. Okay? Bullshit. It's something about the way that you figured this out, okay? It's bothering them, okay? It's really bothering them. It's bothering them more than it would have in the past, right? I feel like in the past, because they would have gotten so much out of the other person, because it's a black hole, you know, you just pour into them. They say what they want, and then or they don't really say what they want, but you're guessing what you think it is that they want, and it's never ending. And they'll never give you credit. They don't give people credit for what they pour into them. They don't like give you your accolades. They don't, you know, tell you did a good job. There's no real grateful energy that is attached to them pulling resources out of people, because if they act like that suffices, then the pouring will stop. It's an endless pit. They want people to just continue to pour, continue to do, continue to try, continue to search, continue to ask, continue to beg, continue to pull, right? Like it never stops. So they can't tell you that what you did for them is cool, or what you're doing for them is a good job, right? Like, or they can't give you credit, okay? This is the type of person who will be like, well, I didn't ask you to do that, right? Like if you're like, well, you didn't even say thank you. Or if they bring up a conversation that, you know, they feel like they did X, Y, and Z for you. And you're like, well, I did X, Y, and Z. And they're like, I didn't ask you to do that. Well, you know, I didn't, you know, or if you're asking this person, like, where are we going? What is this relationship going to transpire into? Like, I need a payout for what I've invested. What the fuck? Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? They would be the type of person that says, well, the things that you did, I didn't ask you to do, you know. Because for them, it never stops. You just have to keep trying to get what you want out of it. And the fucked up part is They show up doing what it is that you want, but it's like a Jedi mind. They quickly switch it. You see what I'm saying? It's very confusing. So you could have been trying to figure out what you've just experienced. This person is not releasing you energetically because I'm not saying you really poured into them, okay? But whatever you poured in their opinion, it ended prematurely. What the fuck? That's not what happens normally. So now they're trying to figure you out. And they're not going to be able to walk away from this as easily as they were in the past. See, in the past, they walk away from people. People don't really walk away from them. They have people that are still chasing them. Okay? It's sort of like once they feel like your resource, your supply, if you want to call it, is stale, they get somebody else and they like ghost you. But you didn't give them the opportunity to do that. This person is also viewing you as the problem. That's their problem. They don't see their issues. Very unhealed, toxic. You are fucking toxic. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You trying to trick me. You trying to manipulate me and my own shit. Huh? This toxic as fuck. What are you talking about? This is not toxic. You see how they tried to spin it in the beginning of this message? You could just rewind it, right? I was kind of confused. Like, it says deception, but it's also saying that it's not toxic. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah, they're saying like you deceived them. They're viewing you as the deceptive one, right? Because they thought that they were getting away with it, right? They thought that they solidified this deal. You needed to be pouring immediately. You needed to be pouring your supply, your resources immediately, bitch. Not walking away. That's them, not me. They are angry. Like, this is like anger, but here we have apology. I'm sorry. It's my fault. What can I do to make it right? I would be very skeptical of that. They feel exposed by your behavior. And if you said something to them, they feel even more exposed. Okay, let's see here. All right, so we have 5 of Cups. That's shame. So they're feeling shameful. 2 of Wands. They are taking action. They will be taking action. They're coming up with a plan. They don't really know how to play this. This is why they're kind of at an impasse. Just kind of sitting there trying to get inspired action because they haven't really had to do this before. There is shame here. You've shamed this person is what I'm hearing. That's how they feel. So you either told them about themselves or your behavior is making them feel exposed beyond measure, right? They're calling you psychic. How the fuck did you know this? How the hell did you know what I had planned? How did you know to get out of Dodge? How did you know to move on or to detach or to move back? Because if you haven't completely moved away from this, they just feel like you're not drawing yourself closer to them. You know what I mean? You're not doing the cat and mouse thing that they're used to. You're just not doing it. Page of Swords. Like, you figured them out. Yeah, Page of Swords is like about knowing some shit. You know what I'm saying? Learning some shit, knowing some shit. It can also be investigating some shit. But I feel like there's a level of protection, guys, okay? Spiritually, seriously, around you that will have you see people who don't mean you well. And then Spirit gives you the chance with your free will to either engage or detach. You know what I mean? You do get a choice. But your protective measure, it could be ancestors, it could be your spirit guides, the universe, right? There's a level of spiritual protection that you have against spiritual warfare. Let's make this very clear. This is like someone who has not tapped in spiritually. They are aimlessly attacking people emotionally, okay? Attacking the heart chakra, attacking people resourcefully, okay, draining people of their energy, of their supply, of their love, of their, you know, of their empathy. They drain you. It does feel like the goal, guys, okay? And I feel like to this individual, the way that they see it, they have such a skewed mindset that they don't feel like they're doing anything wrong. They feel like this is survival, right? Like these are the things that they need to do to survive. Instead of just being on their own and going to heal, that's not their focus, right? So they are ashamed. There is a great deal of shame here, okay, is what they keep pointing out, stressing the word shame, all caps. Because they weren't able to accomplish this. It feeds their ego. It's what feeds them to have people call them from 3 years ago. Like, can we talk now? Hey, big heading them, you know, sending them DMs, asking their family members about them. Where did they go? Why did they disappear? Why did they, you know, what happened, right? Like, you know, depleting people and then disappearing is just, that's deplorable energy. It's disgusting. Talking to your person now. You feel shame, do you? Did you think that this would just continue? You thought the spirit wasn't going to catch up to you? And see, the thing about people like this is, like I said, now I don't know who they were dealing with prior to you. You do have a level of protection here, so you get a choice, right? Like you definitely get a choice. You can remove this voluntarily, or it will happen involuntarily, okay? And the shattered energy would just be shared between the two of you. They feel shattered now, but they like to leave people in shambles, okay? They like to shatter people. And I also get that this is the type of person that goes for high. They go for like, they aim very high, so they have to be something else in order to get those kind of caliber of people. Is that something to toot your horn about? I mean, I don't know. It's giving narcissist. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. Like, if, yeah, what you have accomplished, who you are, what you acquire, you know, who you are spiritually, like the level of empathy that you have. A majority of you are empaths. If you've attracted this, like, yes, you can definitely consider that a compliment that you are so high up, but this is bullshit. You see what I'm saying? So we're of course not going to trivialize that. So they aim high because they want to see somebody who is on that level. They want to see them grovel, right? Like they want to see them in pain. They want to see them, you know, chasing after them. They want to see that kind of person up so high up. They want to see that kind of person chasing them. And they do view themselves to be down here. That's not me saying that they're down here. That's them saying that. They do recognize themselves as being on this level, but they chase up here because it feeds their ego to see somebody up here chasing them, the person that's down here, or crying over somebody that's down here, or taking someone back after they screwed them over, or experiencing this level of emotional pain if they ghosted them. Now, if this person ghosted you, I don't get that you're experiencing that energy the same way people from the past have, because I feel like if this person disappeared on you, you didn't step into this Page of Swords energy, which is like seeking answers, investigating, blowing up their phone, asking where they are, seeing about them, why they haven't called, why did they just disappear? I thought we had a date. I thought we were going to do this. I thought we were going to do that. I thought you said this, you know, and seeking out those answers from them. You're instead seeking answers internally or through your own way of healing, which is not beneficial to them. Okay. It adds nothing to them. It's not resourceful to them. It doesn't feel good to them. And in fact, puts them in this shameful, shattered energy because you didn't take the bait. This reading is giving me the ick. So we have the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck, as well as the King of Pentacles. I love that for you. And I feel like this could have most certainly been a test, guys, okay, spiritually, from the divine, especially if you have experienced narcissistic abuse or a narcissistic relationship. I don't like to throw that word around, but you know, we gotta call a thing, guys. Male or female, this person is experiencing some qualities that suggest NPD. The test would most certainly lead you to be obedient, and the obedience would lead you to choose yourself. But we still have more, right? Wheel of Fortune suggests karmic energy for sure. For sure. Karmic energy for sure, for sure, for sure. But it also suggests a change, right? A positive change, a change in pace. This is not the type of person, because of the wound you inflicted, which is not chasing them, not coming after them, or you could have been the one to disappear on them. That is not allowing them to just walk away from this. They feel slighted. They feel like they need to do something to get themselves back in balance. And how does a toxic person get themselves back in balance? Well, they lie, don't they? You know? In their words, small lie. They'll tell a small lie, you know, make them feel, you know, make them feel skeptical about moving forward, make them feel like they're going to miss out, make them feel like, you know, they're missing out on a good catch, you know, tell the lies that I tell about myself to them, that I think I'm great, that I think we're great, I think we're soulmates, whatever they need to do. So if you have resonated with this message, I'm so sorry, right? Like, I'm sorry you had to deal with that fucker. You have some great shit coming in though, okay? I have to say that, right? Future looks pretty fucking bright. Fortune's Wheel, King of Pentacles, and the Ace of Cups, right? So that's love, money, right? Just overall fulfillment, stability, growth. But this was still annoying or painful for some of you. And it's not over, right? Like, that's the bigger point, right? This person they're going to become a bit of a nuisance. Now, I don't get that you're in any grave physical danger, nothing like that. This is all emotional warfare, spiritual and emotional warfare. This is not about physical harm, but wounds inflicted on the heart chakra. A person's emotions are just as painful as physical wounds. Let's not act like they're not. Okay, we're hopping over to the extended before I start, you know, and I could get to preaching now. We're going to really dig in over there. Let's see where this is heading. We can get you prepared for their next steps. And we'll also tap into this great, beautiful energy that's coming in, like some details on that. Let's see what their karma is going to be. I want to know. With the Fortune's Wheel here, karma could be either way. It could be good or bad. I do feel like you're moving into more of a beautiful karmic cycle for yourself, having already dealt with some very shattering experiences. And this person has just now began to feel their karmic debts being tugged by the divine. So we'll tap into some details about that, because I want to know. You can't just go around trying to fuck up people's lives. I want to know how your life is going to be, you know, altered, what things you're gonna have to go through. I just want to know. I have to see it. I gotta see it, because it's really pissed me off. Okay, we'll see what lessons you needed to learn in order to move forward, what those lessons are, and just in case you haven't learned them yet, right, we need some details on that, just to ensure that this next cycle is only the good and only the new and only the things that you are needing to attain in order to acquire the quality of life that you are seeking and desiring. We'll also look at some new love in your finances, okay? And I'll potentially throw in a Ask the Universe read and give you the floor to ask a couple questions, since this was a lot. So without further ado, click the like button, click the subscribe button, and the notification bell. And I'm going to put the link for the extended reading down below in the description box. I'm going to see y'all over there. Let's go.